I'm really so lucky. My face and most of my body were severely burned, but my life was spared. I woke up in the hospital 2 days later, and my brother-in-law's anxious face was the first thing I saw. Can you hear me? Are you Emma or Olivia? He paused and then added, Can you still remember who I am? He was checking. He was verifying whether my sister was still alive. The person in front of me was my sister's husband Ryan, who had been married to her for less than a year. He was a young and talented man with exceptional demeanor. His only flaw was that he had no power or money of his own. Everything depended on my parents' connections. At just 27, he had become a company general manager, managing over 1,000 employees. My parents were by my side. I struggled to grasp my mother's hand and wrote a single word in her palm. Ugh. My mother's eyes were already red from crying as she shakily spoke my sister's name. Great, honey, you're still alive. Ryan's tears instantly welled up, and he knelt by the bedside, putting on a chill of deep affection for his wife. But his eyes kept darting toward me, clearly unwilling to accept that I was Emma. I was certain he wouldn't recognize me. When we were children, my sister and I looked so much alike that we often played games of swapping identities. From childhood to adulthood, we attended the same school and had almost identical social circles. The only difference with our personalities, she was outgoing while I was introverted. Even her romantic details, I knew them all very well. Pretending to be Emma was something I was very adept at. I turned my head and gently patted his arm to signal that I was okay. He grasped my forearm tightly, rubbing it gently and testing my reaction. My sister had a scar on her right forearm, and coincidentally, my right arm had been cut by car fragments, leaving it a bloody mess. I instinctively wanted to pull my arm back, but thankfully, the cast held me in place. Are you hungry? Should I get you some porridge? Before I could respond, Ryan spoke up immediately. I'll go buy it. I've been to several porridge shops downstairs, and I'm sure I can get the best one. With that, he quickly grabbed his coat and left. Not long after, the door was pushed open. I heard you were in an accident, so I flew back from France in a hurry. I couldn't even attend to my business. How are you feeling now? Sophia, Ryan's secretary and also a college classmate of my sister and me, had grown up with us. However, she was not as accomplished as my sister and often gossiped about her behind her back. Seeing her with a pile of gifts and a bouquet of flowers, my mother naturally took them from her. She just woke up and is doing okay, but she can't speak. It's kind of you to come all the way back to see her. Sophia took a seat by my bedside, carefully examining me with a look of pity. I said, and sincerely, these burns look really severe. But don't worry, I have some scar removal cream. Ryan won't mind. I barely managed to smile. After graduating from college, Sophia couldn't find a job and begged my sister for a position at our family company. Ryan noticed her good drinking capacity and quick thinking and soon promoted her to the position of secretary. Flexibility in handling tasks. If she were so flexible, how could she have trouble finding a job? My sister had complained to me for a long time about this, fearing that Ryan might fall for someone else. They had several big arguments over it, and eventually my sister even developed mild depression. I had thought that after so many years with my sister, Ryan would never fall for an ordinary secretary when he already had a beautiful and wealthy wife. But as soon as Sophia walked in and called me Emma, I suspected she and Ryan might have been conspiring together downstairs, using this opportunity to provoke me. I deliberately sent my parents away, and as expected, Sophia looked around. A VIP room with envy and jealousy clearly visible in her eyes. Emma, my dear friend, how is your life so unfortunate? You were in a car accident, your sister died, and now you're burnt like this. If I were Ryan, I wouldn't stay by your side. If you end up paralyzed, you'd just be a burden. She mocked, getting even closer and whispering in my ear. If you were paralyzed, needing help with your bodily functions and all, wouldn't someone else have to assist you? Disgusting. Do you think Ryan could tolerate that? I clutched the blanket tightly, pretending to be upset by her words, and softly muttered a rebuttal. When my parents and Ryan walked in, she immediately reverted to her previously sweet demeanor. Uncle, Auntie, I'll leave now. I'll come back to see him next time. She smiled as she brushed past Ryan, her fingers lightly scratching his palm. I saw it all clearly from my bed. I turned my gaze away, my expression instantly darkening.